Good morning. My name is Gene Symes. I'm a veteran who's going to give you my opinion and how I feel about what the representatives mean to me and what the influence they're giving the entire nation. And that's on both sides of the party. Anybody listening to me, please understand that uh, I'm not either prejudiced nor prejudiced towards the gay rights nor prejudiced towards the immigrants, except for what this nation's supposed to be standing for since our first president. And that's been forgotten by a lot of people. Uh, what I want to say is that President Trump has been doing the very best he can. He was elected to do the job. And because he was elected by us and by the people of the United States, we expect him to do that job to the best of his ability. And he's doing it. The only problem I see is that the left, and I hate to be prejudiced towards that, and I don't want to be prejudiced towards that, is they're crying and their insults. I think their insults is because the ideas that they thought they had was good, but when they heard it from President Trump, they knew that they were in a losing area with their ideals towards the United States and the nation. They're jealous. This is why they're so prejudiced towards them or dislike them. Whether you like them or not, that doesn't matter to me. I voted for the man, and I'll continue voting for the man. President Trump, my name is Gene Symes. I want to speak to you. I need to speak to you. This is an issue that a grassroots veterans, whether we're a grassroots organization or just a plain veteran, not everyday veteran, I want to meet with you. My number is 315-986-7322. Nancy Pelosi, you talk about the tax breaks and the crumbs. With all that money that you have, you could be doing a whole lot for those individuals as well in your town, in your cities, in your state. But you continue complaining about what the president has said it was a good shot in his tax breaks. You call it crumbs. My mother worked for a long time for 25 cents to 50 cents an hour. If she would have got $2, that's $1 million to her back then. She died at 97. I don't know how old you are, but I think you're due to retire. Am I correct? I hope so. And Schumer, you talk about how good you are and what you can do. And you relate the message about Maxine Waters to cease and desist. But you know what? I don't know how you can fool the people because all I can see while you were saying that is you're laughing inside, trying to make us believe. You haven't answered any of my calls when I called your office. So how really good are you for New York State? You're only good when there's some money out there for campaigns or it's going to make you look good. You and I had a picture with a thumbs up. It's on my website. I don't regret it. It just symbolizes how phony you are. Okay? That's all it does. President Trump has been doing his very best, and all of you are jealous. The majority of the liberal party is jealous. And what they do, they convey to the United States of America a message that's nothing more than violence, than disagreements constantly. If President Trump went to the bathroom and he had to defecate and it was the wrong color, Schumer, you and your team would say, "Oh, it's the wrong color," or "It's too much." That is stupid. Everything he does, you guys contradict. You can't sit down together with him and agree about something, make it work. Obama was speaking about focusing. Well, you know what? We are focusing. You're not. I think Obama knows exactly where we're coming from. And he's worried about his Democratic Party. He's probably left so much documents in that Capitol to indicate so many different areas that he wants change, if that's possible, if it can happen, that the president has to have a hound dog to look for all those documents that is underneath those books, underneath the tables, inside those drawers, in those cabinets that relate to what Obama wants done. and that's what you're doing. Obama has a lot to thank the United States. Hey, we gave him a free home for a good while, didn't we? Good enough. And the immigrants, you're crying about the immigrants. I don't want immigrants in here. I don't care about the children. I don't care about the mothers and fathers. Okay, that's hard. But in my opinion, I do care very strongly in their safety if they come into this country legally. You're going to grab from the poor in the United States to give to illegal when the poor has to sacrifice. We've had veterans trying to get their needs met, their medical care, their dental, their health records indicate their illnesses, but we've had a hard time trying to do that. Okay, and when we do, we got to pull tooth and nail to make something happen for those veterans. But it's going to be so easy for the liberals to say, hey, let's give it to those illegals because they deserve it first. Well, our American and fighting men of America and our veterans that are existing now, those that fought in World War II and the Korean War and Vietnam that existing, those few, and now those that are in the Middle East that are suffering from these pit fires that are out there. You know, you want to give it to aliens that hasn't done a damn thing, but just bring in nothing more than grief. Let them come in legally. Can't you understand this, Schumer and Nancy Pelosi? Another thing, we've had a Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Schultz, McDonald, and now we have this acting Department of Veterans Affairs, Robert Wilkins, I believe his name. If I mispronounced it, I apologize for that. But you know what? We don't need secretaries like these three that were trying so badly, so hard to get somebody to run the Department of Veterans Affairs that are not cooperating with the president. You do things behind his back, and then he gets the blame for what you do. And when you're fired, everybody is screaming, especially the liberals. They were just wounded one more time. Another rat leaves the swamps. How's that? We just had a secretary, I guess it's Robert Wilkins, that flew the rainbow flag in one area of our VA facilities, took down the military flags, lowered them to bring that up. The Department of Veterans Affairs has no genders. What it does have is veterans. We have veterans. That's what symbolizes what the Department of Veterans Affairs is. If this acting secretary wants to make himself look good just because he raised that flag, forget it. You're out. If you're gay, Mr. Robert Wilkins, well, you know, plant your seed somewhere else. I don't have anything against that. But the Veterans Hospital is for veterans. That's what it symbolizes. The flags that fly and the American flag and the POW. It doesn't symbolize gay groups, black groups, Latinos, whites, white people. Hey, like Nancy Pelosi says it, whites? What do you got against people like that, Nancy Pelosi? It symbolizes veterans, the men and women that fought for this country. That's all I want to tell you, because the next time you see me on YouTube, we're going to be talking. We're going to be talking because we're going to be in Washington on July 9th, on the 11th, protesting in front of the Department of Veterans Affairs as veterans. Be there. That's this year. Thank you. Have a great day.